The title of this story is Smoky Mountain Rose by Schroeder. Once upon a time, smack in the heart of the Smoky Mountains, there was this old trapper living in a log cabin with his daughter. One night, while Rose was frying a mess of fish, the trapper, he starts looking dejected like. The long and short of it was that he wondered if it wasn't hard on his girl not having a mother around. And he wondered if she would mind if he married the neighbor lady. Rose answered, "I don't mind. You go a-courtin', Paul, if you think it's best." So he did, and before she knew what she had said, Rose was sorry. Oh, was that neighbor lady mean. And her two daughters, why, they were so mean they'd steal flies from a blind spider. They spent all day, every day, admiring themselves and calling each other names, and they were lazy too, making little Rose work all day, milking the cow, collecting the firewood, and churning the butter. Her dad hated to see her treated so badly, but it turned out that trying to talk to his new wife was like kicking an agitated rattler. So he held his tongue, and then the worst thing happened. One day he died, leaving poor Rose all alone with the hateful lady and her horrible daughters. There was nothing to stop them now, and they mocked her and they worked her and generally made her life a lot harder than it should have been. Many years passed. Now it so happens that on the other side of the creek there was this real rich feller, made his fortune in sow bellies and grits, and he was looking for a wife. So he got the idea to throw a fancy party and invite all the neighbors. That's when Rose really began to feel sad. The sisters hooted and sneered at the idea of her going. Lord a mercy, who'd want to dance with a dirt clod like you? But oh, how they worked Rose to fix them up for it. When the day finally came, she watched them. Whipping the mule, they went a-rambling down the dirt road, chortling out "Skip to my Lou" the whole time. Rose watched until she was alone, and then collapsed into tears. The sound of the far-off fiddle music made her all sorrows flood over her. That's when one of the hogs come a-moseying up to the fence and starts talking to her. He told her to stand up and turn around real fast, like you got a wampus cat biting at your britches. This caused her raggedy overalls to become the prettiest party dress she had ever seen, and instead of bare feet, sparkling glass slippers. Next, the hog asked for a mushmelon and 2 field mice, which he turned into a wagon and team of horses. Warning her that the magic would hold only until midnight, the hog sent her off to the square dance. When she got there, she saw 2 fiddlers, a harmonica man, even a square dance caller come all the way from Nashville. A hush fell over the crowd as Rose walked in. The rich man's eyes danced, and he held out his arm to her. But her sisters said to each other, "Well, shut my mouth," and "Ah, to wring her neck, she's been going through my boudoir." But Rose couldn't hear them, and she danced the night away. Suddenly, she saw the big granddaddy clock in the corner. "Tarnation," she cried, "it's midnight." And she fled. One of her slippers flew off into a ditch, but she made it home with the other. Looking down, she saw her rags and thanked the hog for her night of fun. "Any time, sugar," it answered. That's when her stepmother and sisters got home, mad as hornets. "Ain't you going to whip her now, Ma?" asked Liza Jane. "My whipping arm's tired. I'll do it tomorrow," said the old meanie, and they all went to bed. Lucky for Rose, the very next morning they all heard the news. The rich feller had found Rose's shoe and was stopping at every cabin to find its owner. Before they knew, Rich Seb was there with the shoe. "Me first," yelled Annie, the elder girl, and barged over. She tried her best to fit in it, but getting a slipper on her big foot was like trying to stretch a little bitty sausage skin over a side of beef. Shoving her sister out of the way, Liza Jane had a try, but the minute the tugging started, she pert near went blue in the face. "Let me get the axe," she said, gasping. "I'll get that shoe on if it kills me." That's when Seb saw Rose hiding over near the hog pen. "Come over here and stick out your foot," he said. "Come on now, just set yourself down in this here bucket and stick out your tootsie." So Rose did, and that shining slipper went gliding right on, just as smooth as butter. It was love at first sight of her feet in those shoes, and Seb proposed on the spot. Those mean old sisters saw the love shining between Seb and Rose, and upon seeing that, they done burst into tears. Rose, sweet girl that she was, forgave them for being cruel to her, and declared that she loved them, like soup loves salt. And from then on, all was well. And to this day, Rose and Seb are still living there, and folks reckon they're about the happiest twosome in all of Tarbelly Creek.